First time accelerating with the new Sprockets, and this is in street mode, so wow, that doesn't feel like street mode anymore. Oh my god. Woohoo! Oh well, track mode. It's going to be interesting. Tyres warmed up a bit. Wow, street mode is definitely in street mode, aren't I? Yeah, street. It feels like I'm in for a shock, because it actually feels like somewhere in between sport and track. Right, let's get this onto track. Roads in shocking condition after the winter. Wow. Feels like it's got another 10 bhp. It's crazy. The only problem with doing this is it's probably going to point out the shortcomings in the suspension on this bike. Awesome! So how many of you out there have already done this upgrade with the Sprockets? Am I the last person in the UK not to have done it? It's a really cheap upgrade as well. It's a scary thing. The only it's cheap until you have to buy the chain, obviously. So opted for the Power Sports chain. So that's what bumps up the price, but pound for pound, it's a fantastic upgrade. Gear's awesome now. bit more go out the corners. And I'm not all about top end anyway, so I'm not about it at all, so I'm not going to miss anything up there. Third gear's like, not really tried it. I feel I can trust the chain now that I've put it together properly. Awesome. There we go. That's us in 5th gear, 30 miles an hour, 2,500 RPM, and sport mode. I've no idea what I'd normally be in if I hadn't changed the sprockets out, but it feels pretty good. It's not juddering at all. Rather than pumping out that first impressions video after doing my sprockets, I figured what I'd do is just wait till I've been using the bike a bit like that, got used to it, and then see if anything crops up, anything that's good or bad about it. And I'm happy to say I think it's been a great mod. It's probably the best performance mod I've done to the bike since getting it, and I'm kind of spewing now that this is the first bike I've ever done it on. I know it's quite a common upgrade for people, but I hadn't really thought about it until Duke and Twist mentioned it to me, so thank you for doing that. And thanks to any subscribers that bought mugs and t-shirts from my Teespring page, because you paid for it. I bought the chain, but the sprockets, you guys bought that, so thanks a huge amount for that. So it's a 5th gear overtake, no problem. Yeah, I love how now in so basically, yeah, I'll work my way through the gears, we'll explain that. So in street mode, which is like your lowest powered mode, your softest map, street mode now feels like sport mode, but with extra smoothness in town, obviously. And oh, here comes the rain. And sport mode is track mode now, but with the benefit of a much less on-off throttle. And I find that most of the time as today I'm running sports mode, whereas I used to be in track mode all of the time. I'll go into it now and then, but for riding a bike normally I find I'm in sports mode most of the time now. And so the big worry obviously was between me running the bike in track mode and shortening the gearing with these cogs, I was going to be consuming huge amounts of fuel, but that's kind of been negated a wee bit with the with being able to run in sport rather than track. And to be honest, if this is the kind of mod that you're doing to your bike, are you really giving a damn about MPG? You're not, are you? So it's a non-issue for me. There's just so much punch now low down, you know. I'm finding everywhere I'm a gear higher than ever, but I've lost a fair bit off the top, I would say. Now, it says online when I've had a look around at these gearing ratios, and the figure I've seen banded about 12 kilometres per hour off the top end. But if I'm being truthful, it feels way more than that. It feels like, yeah, maybe 12 miles per hour. I've not tried it, I'm not about that, but it definitely feels like there's a huge amount of top end, final drive that I'm not getting. A couple of times when I've been out for runs, I've actually thought I was in 5th gear and going to sneak up into 6th and find out that's where I already was. So that's something to bear in mind. If you like a bit of top speed, you're definitely going to have less of that. The roads around here aren't that tight a road, and I'm never on motorways and hardly near dual carriageway, so it's not an issue for me. But it's something to bear in mind. I never did a how-to video for this, if that's what you're here to see, mainly because my worry would be that, you know, the repercussions if I've given you some information that's totally dud about torque settings or something, I would be liable. And it was at the back of my mind when I swapped everything out. You know, the first few times I went out, it was the back of my mind. I was imagining I was feeling things and double checking nuts and bolts when I got home, but everything seems to have been set fine. But it's just a worry, and I wouldn't want that on my head if somebody did something wrong, or if I got the specs wrong. The swapping of the sprockets, that was straightforward enough. That was actually the easy bit. The thing I found the hardest was the chain. Splitting the old chain, yeah, it wasn't so bad to do, but I had to put everything back together with the new power parts chain, only to find it probably was a link too long, so I had to take it all apart again, and that took ages. It took longer to do than the sprockets. A bit of advice as well, you'll probably see if you have a look around online, if you get a new chain, they're covered in a real thick sticky grease. So what I did was I got a load of, this is 01's hairdryer and some old newspaper, and I just heated the hell out of it and just kept rubbing at it with a rag until I got rid of as much as I could. There was still a bit came off when I was out riding for the first couple of rides, but yeah, you get rid of all that gunk because it is really sticky. It makes a real mess if you don't. If you're needing any advice on chain tensioning, if you haven't already done so, have a look at Old Biker's channel. He explains it there. Somebody asked me a long time ago if I could look into that for them, but just with lockdown I haven't been able to get into the workshop to ask mechanics down at Drysdale KTM when I've been in. You know, everybody's been distancing, so it wouldn't have been appropriate for me to be in there asking them to show me how to do it, where to measure from, but no need to now because Old Biker's done it. It made life a lot easier for me. So would I do it again? Definitely. Buy another bike. I don't think an S1000R needs it, but certainly if I was buying like another smaller bike, possibly. something to look into. The main thing is with these sprockets, it feels like you've had a remap, and the bike feels like you've another 10 horsepower on it. So it's a big improvement. And it gives you more overtaking options as well. You know, you don't have to be in the exact right gear for overtaking. It'll go in other gears now, you know.